Hey, welcome. I'm Joshua with The Garden is Growing, and I don't know about you, but a lot of people are setting New Year's resolutions right now. If it's a resolution or if it's just something on your list, you may be wanting to start a compost pile either for the first time or maybe expand your current setup. Let me show you what I have going for my compost, and I'm about to actually build another one. So I'm going to show you all those steps. It's a very cost-effective, practical way of doing it. It's not the prettiest, but it does a great job. And again, it might be something to give you ideas or that you'll want to follow. So let me go ahead and show you, and we'll dive right in. So I currently have 3 of these piles. It is 1-inch chicken wire, 3 feet tall. The circles are about 3.5 to 4 feet in diameter. And we have some U-posts or T-posts, and I'm going to go into which one I prefer for this. It's actually different than what I prefer for everything else, holding them up. So it's a very simple, again, pretty inexpensive design. What the chicken wire does, it holds the structure, so it lets everything, stay in the pile without just falling over. Before this, I did do just mounds on the ground, which does work. So if you have the space, it's not close enough to things that would be a disturbance, then you're more than welcome to do that. I've had success doing it that way, just a big pile on the ground. You can mix it up pretty easily. But this holds it all together, lets you go vertical, go up, there's less chicken wire here than there is chicken wire for the structure, if that makes sense. So it adds a lot of airflow. It helps with drainage, so it's not going to be too saturated if you don't overwater it, at least. So let's go ahead and build another one of these. We have 3. We're going to add 2 more to make 5 total. The first thing I'm going to do is sink in 2 of these U-posts with my new post driver that I actually got for my birthday here a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to measure it out. We're going to have them 4 feet apart, 1 in the front, 1 in the back. You can add 4 if you want it more of a box. That's more secure. But again, less materials, less cost. So that's one of the primary goals for this, something very practical that works on a good budget. So where are we? Lowe's. We're going to use the U-post actually this time, even though I prefer the T-post. This is the one scenario where I found U-post work really well. So let's take you along for the journey. All right, I have a T-post here and a U-post here. Let me show you the difference. Some people use them interchangeably, or the terminology interchangeably. The T-posts are a lot stronger, a lot heavier. They're solid. They're also in the shape of a T. That's how they get their name. But these are great for heavy-duty tasks, fencing, trellises, things that are going to have to support weight that are that you want to make sure are going to stay up. The U-post, this thing is very, very light. This is 4 feet. You can get them in all sizes for both T-posts and U-posts. It makes the shape of a U at the end, if you can see that. And they also have notches to hold on to the fencing. So I prefer T-posts for everything so far I've used them for, except I like the U-post for this style of compost bin, because you can close it by putting the chicken wire around the notches, and then when you're ready to empty the pile or turn the pile, then you can just unhook it from here and pull the chicken wire away, so the circle opens up and you can easily access it. Here's all the wire. The current ones we have are 3 feet tall, so we're going to find 3 feet. I think 3 feet by 50 feet was the best deal. When I'm putting the U-posts around, I'm doing it with the notch end towards the outside. That way we'll be able to easily use the notches to hold the chicken wire in place. Now it's time to open up the chicken wire. These are wire cutters, so they'll be needed to trim the chicken wire down to size after we make our circle. Now last spring, this was I think $30 and it was 50% off. So I got these for $15 a roll. We have our 2 U-posts in, the notches are facing outward. We're gonna start on the side that we want to be the opening. We're gonna open that way. So I'm gonna start on this side. We're gonna make our circle. It's gonna be a little bit cumbersome as we go around. I have some yard stakes that I'm going to use to hold it where we don't have the posts on the other sides. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it around once. I wish I bought, twice as many as I needed so I'd have room for the expansion. For the U-post, we're gonna do the 4 4-foot U-post will work great for that. Now, normally I do like the T-post because the T-posts, the ones in the shape of a T, are a lot more durable. These are a lot thinner, but they have the little notches, so it'll make opening the compost bins a lot easier. Hardware cloth is definitely better, just costs a lot more. So we'll go with the chicken wire for this. Hey, Fletcher, can you help me count these? We need to get 6 of them. So here's one. Can you hold it? That one's too tall. Okay, so leave that one there. All right, let's get... There you go. How many? 2. All right, I'm just gonna guesstimate there.
3, 4. That's enough.
We need 6. What's after 4?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, so 2 more. Gonna put 2 back. We're only gonna do 2 new compost piles. Thinking through it, we're gonna get chickens this year, so we'll be able to have them help compost. So I think 5 compost piles is more than enough. Feeling a little claustrophobic right now. Whew, is it getting hot in here, or is it just me? Of course, none of this has to be exact. Excellent. 3 feet, 11 inches. Now on the 2 sides that don't have the poles, I'm gonna put 2, so 4 total, of these yard stakes. Now, yard staples is, I think, the common name for them. I'm actually out of them. I don't have any right now, but this is practically the same thing. And if you recognize these actually either come with, or at least they're made for, using like a metal fence with a T-post. This secures it. I bent them to be my staples because I don't have them right now, and it works. Just gonna wrap it around the bottom section of the chicken wire and push it in. That way, you know, if it buckles, it'll keep its shape. I'll do another one over here. Again, if you want to use 4 posts to make a square, works too. Then you could have a whole side as a door. Just less materials this way. I like the circle look, and it works well. Everything is holding shape. We have it anchored to the ground in 4 spots. We have the 2 poles. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it away from the spool. That's not a spool. What is that? Roll. The roll of chicken wire. So I'm gonna do it not directly where it connects, because again, I want to be able to have this hang on, pull it away, move it back, to rotate it, and to take it out. So what I'm going to do is give it maybe another inch and a half, cut it here, so that way I can kind of tuck it to lock it in. I think it turned out really pretty. Take a look. This is the finished bin. What I'm going to do is, we're not going to just fill this one with new items. So we'll add over time kitchen scraps, yard waste from the garden, grass clippings, leaves, things like that can be composted. But we're not going to add it to this one, because what we're going to do is, one of the 3 that we have already going, a great way to rotate a bin, and again, that kind of stirs it up, helps it compost faster. We're going to move the contents of one of the currently composting circles into this one. It's going to be a great way to mix it up, and then we're going to use one of the older ones to start a new pile. That'll be a video for another time, but thank you so much for joining. I am excited to share so much with you from our garden here in 2023. Hopefully I can help you in your garden as well. I've only been gardening for about 7 years, so I'm not an expert by any means, but it's fun sharing things that I find that work, and I learn so much every year. So I forget so much every year as well. So I'll be relearning things that I used to know. It's funny how that works. But again, thanks so much for joining. I hope you can spend some time in your garden today, spend some time prepping for your spring garden. Until next time, Joshua with The Garden is Growing.